Hey guys, I wanted to talk to you about tension and direction. Making some major form changes this winter, getting ready for trying to implement as much of the NTS that I had learned during my level 4 to the Barebow shot. A lot of real good things came out of that. Really finding the correct way to get 100% into your back, finding the way to get into a better alignment and allow you to hold at full draw much, much easier. But the thing is that we forget is that as we get better with our alignment, as we do better with holding and get more into our 100% back tension, well, naturally, if you're holding more into your back, the break at full draw becomes a little bit more drastic, or it can be. So if your goal is to have a steady bow arm, like I just shot, where that bow just shoots straight forward and you hold your bow arm, then you have to match it on this side. So tension and direction. The NTS calls for a 50-50 split. Well, that's correct, and I truly believe that that is a major carryover to Barebow. However, NTS also has a sit motion. So full draw, shot happens. Well, you're full draw this way. Shot happens, boom, and you sit with your front hand. That I don't believe carries over to Barebow. There is that's a dynamic movement. That's a movement that's very specific, and there's that explosion. Bow goes out, boom, sit. Bow does its little dance, comes back, shot's over. Well, if you're doing the sit motion here, and you have to match it here, you have to have that 50-50. Well, where I have gone wrong in the past couple of years is trying to keep parts of that dynamic movement of the Olympic recurve follow through. One being my bow arm, and that continuous expand, boom. When you're actively really expanding with very specific tension, you can't help, when you're doing it correctly, to have that break at the release, to have that bow arm want to go and move, because if you're expanding this way, right, if you're expanding at your chest, although the expansion, that's a movement that is very microscopic. You can't see it. But a lot of people want to make it a big thing, and it's not. It's actually more of a hold. It's a full draw hold. That's why we do so many draw holds in Barebow. So instead, the goal is to make the bow arm and release on that same scale. If on a scale of 1 to 10 being movement, if you want that scale to be 1, 0, or 1, the least amount of movement, and 10 being a whole lot of movement, and if that movement is, you don't want the 10, so if you want like a 1, well then your release has to mimic the bow hand. Let me see if I can shoot a couple different shots and show you what I mean. Okay, first I'm going to shoot a 0, what I would say on a scale of 1 to 10 being as close to a 1 as possible. Bow hand didn't even move. Bow arm didn't move. Personally, I don't like that shot. What I don't like about it is the fingers and the hand not moving means to me that there is a loss of back tension. I think in some ways there has to be some movement as a reaction of the fingers letting the string pull through and then finishing the follow through. Likewise, zero movement here would mean that there's zero movement here. I think that at the break of the string, naturally, because the bow should want to jump straight forward, that this hand remaining open and allowing that bow to go where it wants to be, and you'll see that rock. Likewise, in this hand, if you're properly letting that string pull through your fingers, there's going to be a natural motion of tension and direction. The tension, the energy is going that way, so the direction of your tension should want to go straight back, at least a little bit. In my opinion, a 2 to 3 scale on tension and direction is what I would want. That will hopefully look something like this. That was actually a pretty good shot. Right edge 10, 9-ish. Because I'm advocating to you that this is the shot that I would like to see from my shooters and also for myself. Again, this is sort of some clarity on the subject. Let's put it that way. Let's do that again. So let's up that scale a little bit, all right? Let's go to like a 5, okay? I've been working pretty hard on not doing this, so this might be difficult, but let's do it anyway. See that break? That very purposeful explosion out. It hit somewhere around the gold, but you also see the bow arm. I don't think in Barebow that is the most conducive type of form. The reason being is because you need, again, and I've said this in other videos, the consistency of the bow arm at full draw and the steadiness of the aim will be indicative of the result of the arrow landing down there, providing your release is decent. If your bow arm's not moving, it gives you some forgiveness in your release. It allows your release to, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, anywhere from like 8 to 10, you're going to stay in that gold if your bow arm's good. But if your bow arm's not good, then you're going to struggle to duplicate this at the same time as getting the tip of the arrow in the middle. So, again, with the goal of matching our tension and direction of our bow arm and our release hand, this is going to be the extreme. Oftentimes, this is really just a mini or even maybe a major drive-by. You can see there's like an explosion, right? Because you're anticipating the tip of the arrow getting to the middle, and you get there and boom, you explode out of it. So let's shoot one more, this is going to be tough, and go back to that rating of 2 to 3. A little bit of tension, a lot of tension, a little bit of movement. A lot of proper tension, a little bit of movement. Bow arm goes straight. Just a little bit of movement here. Let me shoot one more. Man, that felt good. This is, again, this is a recent change for me. In this quest to apply Barebow and NTS, And then, I'm not gonna lie, little epiphany, standing next to John, I've shot with him so many times, and watching his incredible amount of control and break the world record at the indoor 18 meter. It gives you an opportunity to just sort of analyze it a little bit and realize, like, this dude has been shooting barebow for so long and made so many mistakes. He's really kind of figured it out. What is stopping the rest of us from following in those footsteps in some ways? His natural tension and direction of his bow arm and his release are just ridiculously repeatable. Well, why is that? Because they're as minimal as possible. We make archery complicated. We need to not make archery complicated. It's not a good shot. It's in the gold. Oh, I'll tell you what. I'll take you guys down and look at it. So here you go. This was drive-by. This was the 5-6 rating, you know, lots of extra movement. And I'm not going to lie, the rest of these were all the better shots. I think this one was the very first one that had 0 movement. It was this one, I think. So just gives you an idea. What are you going to repeat? You're going to repeat that drive-by where your tip of the arrow comes up, comes up, comes up, and then you try to explode right when it gets here? Are you going to reduce it as little as possible, or as a little bit, but not a lot, not all the way? Or are you going to dial it all back and really make it count? Again, expansion is not a movement. Stop trying to make expansion about this big swooping thing. This is not it. This is not your movement. This is not expansion. This does not show expansion. Expansion is right here and in the contraction of the back. Compound archers describe it as contraction. Recurve archers describe it as expansion. I want you to think about expansion as a hold in proper alignment, a hold, and as the pressure is building in your body, you are holding, letting the tip of the arrow float as close to your aim point, wherever that may be. As that hold is happening, that conscious to subconscious switch is right here. As it's settling down, you are not letting go of the string at all. You are just holding it. So that subconsciously, as it dials down, and your expansion increases, and then it's there, and you just let the string pull through. And where are you going to go? We're not yanking back, so your hand is just going to naturally go, boom, and that's it. It really shouldn't go past your ear. Unless you're adding something to it. Stop adding stuff to your shot that you don't need. Reduce it. You want to deal with target panic? Get rid of the extra junk. There you go.